Mark Cuban has become one of the biggest names in sports. And I have to admit, I'm a bit of a fan. I love people that are unabashed, that aren't afraid to throw out their opinion, that challenge convention, and make me think about my own perception of things. And he does that. So I often read his blog, which is aptly titled Blog Maverick. He wrote an article recently about how he thought sports management degrees were a complete waste of time. And I'll link to the article below and you can read it for yourself. But his basic premise was that there's only a limited amount of actual teams and a limited amount of jobs that they have. And if you actually do the math, there are more people graduating with a sports management degree than there are jobs available at teams. He said you should focus on getting experience in sales, a revenue-generating job that will always have openings and ability to get hired. I think his initial premise, I think he has some flaws in his premise, and I think he has some strong points in his premise. The first major flaw is that he's isolating the sports industry to being just revolving around teams. And the sports industry is so much more than that, and a sports management degree can teach you so much more of the intricacies of the sports industry. Think about broadcast media rights, agency relationships, all those sort of things that are specific to sports. And there's so many different avenues of the job marketplace, whether that's in merchandising, or it's in publicity, or in agencies. These are the kind of things a sports management degree can prepare you for. It's not just working for a team. So there are more opportunities out there than what Mr. Cuban is actually kind of leading you to believe. But his underlying point about getting experience in sales makes a lot of sense if you think about it. Revenue generating jobs are easier to come by. If your job can show that it makes money, it's much easier for a business to say, we need that role. If you talk to the most executives across any facet of the sports industry, they will tell you the majority of their workforce is in sales. It's just a fact. So if you learn sales, you will have a much better chance at getting hired. But if you get a sports management degree, you are going to learn so many things specific to the sports industry, which is where your passion clearly lies, that is always going to line up with your values and who you want to be. So it is not a misguided major, despite what Mark Cuban says.